Today, we're diving deep into some of the hottest developments across the photography industry from significant price shifts due to looming tariffs to a potential game-changing release from Sony that could shake up the mid-range camera segment. Yes, we're talking about the long-anticipated Sony A7V and how it could retake its crown in the mirrorless market. First things first, the camera industry is undergoing rapid changes, and not all of them are great for buyers. While Prime Day deals have brought historically low prices on camera accessories and gear, there's a looming challenge that every gearhead in the US needs to be aware of. New tariffs are on the horizon. Starting August 1st, a 25% tariff will hit Japanese-made tech imports in the US, and guess what? That includes nearly the entire range of high-end photography equipment. That means everything from camera bodies to lenses, and even accessories like tripods, gimbals, and lights may see price hikes of hundreds of dollars. This is a major development, especially if you're eyeing gear from brands like Sony, Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, or Fujifilm. But even with these economic headwinds, some of the biggest accessory brands like Smalrik, Neewer, and Godox are responding with aggressive summer sales. So if you've been holding off on adding essentials like cages, clamps, lighting gear, or mounting systems to your setup, now might be the ideal time. I personally use a ton of Smalrik gear in my studio: super clamps, mini arms, handles, lighting, RIGS, you name it. And they're all heavily discounted right now. Some even up to 30% off in bundle kits. These aren't your average seasonal discounts either. These are among the most aggressive accessory sales we've seen in years. You can find curated links and my gear list down in the description. Most of them are affiliate links, so if you shop through them, it supports the channel at no extra cost to you. Switching gears a bit, let's talk about a sleeper hit that's generating a surprising amount of buzz: the OM5 marked biome system. Although it may not be grabbing big headlines, it's quietly proving that the Micro Four Thirds format isn't dead yet. The demand for this mid-range camera has caught even OM system off guard. They've issued public statements in Japan warning about delayed shipments due to overwhelming pre-orders. That's a classic indicator of underestimated interest. And it tells us something powerful: users still crave compact, capable cameras with practical features, even if they're not full frame. As someone who mainly shoots Canon full frame, I didn't expect to care this much about a Micro Four Thirds body, but I do. Because the OM5 bridges the gap between size, portability, and real-world performance. It competes with compact cameras on physical dimensions, and with APS-C, and even some full-frame models when it comes to features. If you're someone who needs a lightweight travel camera, or you're into wildlife and macro photography, this little powerhouse could be a perfect addition to your kit. Market data, the big picture on camera trends. Let's get a bit nerdy for a moment and talk about SEPHA's latest industry data for May 2025. This is one of those underappreciated parts of camera discussions, but trust me, it matters. SEPHA tracks global camera production and shipment data, and the trends from their reports shape the future of camera development. Brands like Canon, Sony, Nikon, and Panasonic use this data to decide where to invest in R&D, what product lines to refresh, and which features to double down on. This month's numbers show a significant acceleration in mirrorless camera adoption, well beyond what analysts were predicting. Entry-level and mid-tier mirrorless models are moving off the shelves quickly, especially in the enthusiast and semi-professional categories. On the flip side, DSLR sales continue to decline, but surprisingly, they haven't disappeared. I still see tons of posts in Facebook groups and Reddit threads with people asking for recommendations on DSLRs that are technically discontinued but still in circulation at outlets like Costco or online mega-retailers. While it's easy to dismiss DSLRs as obsolete, they still serve a purpose, especially for budget-conscious beginners. But the bottom line is this: mirrorless is dominating the future, and the companies that pivot fastest and offer the most bang for the buck are winning. And speaking of competitive positioning, let's look at Sony's mirrorless ecosystem, particularly the mid-range segment, which is starting to show cracks. According to recent reports and analytics, Sony's once dominant A7 III and even the A7 IV are beginning to lose momentum. Not because they're bad cameras, far from it, but because Canon and Nikon are catching up hard. In terms of autofocus, video specs, and overall ergonomics, the Canon R10, R50, and R100 are now dominating unit sales thanks to aggressive pricing and smart feature inclusion. These are the models driving volume and revenue, not the flagship R5 Mark II or R1. That may surprise some, but it's a reminder that volume comes from accessibility, not raw power. And that's exactly where Sony has struggled in the past 2 years. Their premium line has continued to perform well, and their compact vlog focus cameras are also doing fine. But in the mid-tier space, Fuji, Nikon, and Canon are eating their lunch. That's where the Sony A7V comes in. It's been quietly registered in Asian markets, and leaks point to it being a major evolution over the A7 IV. While there's no official launch date yet, the buzz is real and growing. Based on the most credible rumors, the A7V could feature new 3.3 MP or for MP sensor, improved low-light performance and dynamic range, faster readout speeds and burst shooting up to 20 better thermal management, enhanced video capabilities. Potentially for K1 to OPA, new AI-driven autofocus engine, upgraded EVF resolution, possibly around 5.0 meters dots body and screen design inspired by the A1 and A7 SE. Now, let's talk price. Early chatter places this camera in the $2,800 $3,000 to $100 range. That might feel steep, especially for people hoping for a $2,000 successor. But in today's market with tariffs and inflation, this might become the new mid-range norm. We're essentially seeing a redefinition of pricing tiers in full frame. Entry-level full frame, $1, $500 to $000 mid-range, $2,700 $3, $500 high-end. Flagship for $1,500 plus. So, if you've been waiting to upgrade your aging A7 III or are finally ready to jump into the Sony Alpha system, the A7V could be the best new investment in 2025. It positions Sony to recapture some of the ground they've lost in the mid-tier category, especially if they deliver on features without bloating the price. Here's where it gets tricky. Those 25% tariffs on Japanese-made electronics are coming, and that's not a rumor. That means we could see lenses jumping by $100, $300, camera bodies spiking by $200, $500 accessories like flashes, cages, and gimbal cerebamine significantly. More expensive retailers are already preparing for these changes with pre-tariff discounts. So if you've been planning a purchase, don't wait. You might even catch a flash sale before July ends. And even if the Sony A7V launches after the tariff kicks in, you can expect pricing to reflect the new baseline, not the old one. Final thoughts: if you're considering upgrading your setup, now might be the most affordable window you'll see in months, maybe even years. Whether it's a new camera body, lighting gear, or video accessories, getting in before August could save you a substantial amount.